Welcome back to the PCS Journal, everyone. I'm Al Rochelle. The achievement gap, it's a big deal, and Pinellas County schools are putting all efforts into making sure they can reduce that gap that's occurred not only in Pinellas County but around the nation. But this is where they want to get it solved with a program called Bridging the Gap Plan. And what they've asked the staff and teachers to do is come up with ideas of their own that might help change this achievement gap that we're seeing. Let's take a look.
I think there was a need for the Bridging the Gap presentation today because it forced our teachers to have that self-reflective conversation within themselves as to what are we doing, what can we do better, and how can we better build relationships with African American students and all students.
Each one of us has to touch a life of a student in some way to grow greatness at Lakewood High School.
And so this is my strong philosophy. As a pre-K-8 school, we lay the foundation for students to successfully graduate from high school. From the minute they walk in to Ashley's 3-year-old class, our goal is always to get kids to graduate from high school.
We work with our lowest level to our highest, but every single student, our initiative is achievement for all. We want to raise the bar, we want to give them the resources, we want to teach in a way that all students can be highly successful.
I hope the teachers walk away realizing that all our efforts aren't random, that they are all aligned, and we are keeping the main thing, which is achievement for all students. The strategies in our district strategic plan are applicable to students with disabilities, our ELL students, and they can apply to everyone, and it does send a good message that it's not just about the schools, but the community and the families are also part of that plan.
It was definitely thought-provoking. It made me think about my approach in teaching and how it directly impacts the kids.
I was glad to see that it's something that the district is questioning, and I'm glad to see that different teachers have different ideas.
I think it gives us a challenge to meet the needs of all the students that we have, and I think it was encouraging too, because they gave us a plan, things to look at, and ways to move forward with our instruction.
I was thinking, wow, because it's at the heart of what everyone wants for all of their students.
We're on the right path, and we're going to put a lot of the practices in place that we saw in the video.
I think it's fantastic information to be able to look at the data and to be able to see where everything is, where we've been, where we're going, where we know we need to go, and some ideas collaboratively working together to be able to say, how do we get there?
Writing on the card just, again, made me really think about what I need to do in my classroom for my students.
We were really engaged, and we shared some information that really a lot of us did not know about each other and how we actually felt about ways that we work with our students.
I wrote Building a Strong Community because I think having a strong classroom community, it sets everybody up for the same expectations and the same attitude.
You've got to build that relationship so they trust you and believe in you, and then they eventually will believe in themselves.
I'm going to continue to invest in relationship building the whole year, not just at the beginning of the year, but every day, the whole year.
I wanted to use lots of various styles of teaching to try to get to all the various styles of learning.
I want them to know that it's important to me, and I'm their cheerleader, I'm rooting for them, and I value them.
It's all different things that we need to use in the classroom to make sure that we're closing the gap and not leaving our students behind.
There's something kind of new going on in Pinellas County schools in some of the classrooms. It's called flexible classroom seating. Well, what does that mean? You mean there's no more rows? Where do the kids sit? Well, take a look. I think you'll find this interesting.
Flexible seating is something we've done a lot of research on, and we found out that some of our little fidgety little scholars, mainly males, needed to move around a lot, and we were still doing the traditional seating in rows, and these children need to get up and move. We went to Confortute, 4 teachers and myself this summer, and did a lot of research with flexible seating, and the teachers were sending me pictures all over the campus that they saw of samples of flexible seating with the college students. And they said, why don't we go back and do that at Southern Oak? And I said, oh, I love it.
We're always making changes to better ourselves, and the classroom is such an important area. Why aren't we doing it in there as well? Initially, we made sure that we had each student try each seat for at least 2 days, because one of the benefits of it is how they learn the best, and they need to identify that themselves.
You could sit maybe at a crate that has a pillow, or maybe on the ground on a small desk. It's wherever you learn the best. The exercise ball that we have, you can bounce on that. Some people learn better when they bounce, when they're bouncing, or when they're standing up, like the standing desk. Kick band chairs. They have a green kick band where if you're not focused, you get to kick the band, and it helps you focus more.
We still have some traditional seating for those kids who would prefer that. They're choosing where they want to sit, and a lot of times that means they're sitting next to their friends, but they understand that it's such a privilege for them to be able to do this, and that it's such a neat experience for them that they're really taking it, very seriously and doing really well with it.
To me, it allows me to focus more and be more comfortable at the same time. When I'm in a comfortable seat, it makes me comfortable to work well.
It's definitely been a learning experience for us as teachers, but it's been a positive one. They've really adapted to it very well. The rules, they follow them almost to a T. We have, I think, 5 models in the whole school that are doing it, and it's really exciting.
Everything I've received from students, parents, even co-workers that have come and stopped by to look at our rooms, everything has been positive. It takes them and makes them in charge a little bit more about their learning. It makes them a little bit more accountable.
They're more invested in what they're doing because they feel as if they're being, it's almost like a reward for them. This is nice for them. This is something that they want.
I think this class is a little bit more well-behaved.
I felt like it was more conducive for the kids in collaboration, more conducive for them to communicate in small groups. It just was more natural.
It's really special to me because it's not just for our comfort, it's for our learning.
I don't want to leave those rooms. I mean, since day one, the questions I had with the children and the teachers, this is new. Have there been any challenges? And it's like we've been doing it for 50 years.
And finally, we kick off a new season of what we call the IT Factor. October is being recognized as the Disability History and Awareness Month. So today, we go into an exceptional student classroom to see how one Pinellas County teacher is working very hard to inspire her students.
I majored actually in criminal justice and did a few different things. But after my son started attending schools, I always volunteered with the kids and absolutely have loved all of the kids. And I realized that I was able to establish quite a rapport with them. I went through the transition to teaching program. This is my calling now. I just absolutely love the kids. I've always been so inspired by the students, and it was kind of a mutual rapport with each other and just them reaching out to me. And it's really about the kids that have made me just love this profession. I really do.
Well, that's our show. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. We're back again. More programs right here on the PCS Journal.